If we talk about this public health issue that we face with gun violence, we need to support our mothers.
As Louisville is faced with another deadly shooting that killed 1 and wounded 7 Saturday, 2 local grief groups are shining a light on those left behind, picking up the pieces. You're watching Wave News at 11. I'm Noelle Friel. Local grief groups like Street Widows and First Hour Grief Response see the impacts of violent crime every day when talking to victims' families. So they say they see the areas where resources of support may be lacking. Wave News reporter Alina Noakes has more on their efforts to help.
Time and again at crime scenes, we hear from people impacted by violent crime in Louisville who are frustrated with what they are seeing play out across the city. Many of them asking what needs to change. That's something a couple of local groups are looking to answer.
Ashley Johnson is no stranger to crime or to loss. A product of West End Louisville, Johnson says she's been losing friends as far back as she can remember. But on February 19th, 2020, loss took on a whole new meaning when she lost her husband to gun violence.
I was cooking dinner. My husband went out to go get me something for my cornbread from the store. He was like, hey, I'll be right back. And 20 minutes later, DeKalb County Police Department was knocking at my door.
In that moment, Johnson found herself a widow and her children without a father. It changed the trajectory of her life in more ways than one, leading to the creation of her nonprofit, Street Widows Foundation.
Our mission is to erase the stigma that's associated with street grief and to also restore life by way of supporting the women, the widows who are left to carry this grief, but also supporting those mothers so that they in turn are healthy and happy mamas to support their children.
Johnson said she recognized a lack of resources for those impacted by loss, whether that be gun violence, overdose deaths, or even incarceration. Creating a path to support is one way Johnson wants to fill the gap.
Extracurricular programs, all of these things are beautiful. Like, I love to see all of the work that's poured into our youth in Louisville, but a big piece of that is making sure that that home life is accounted for.
That is top of mind for Diane Curtis as Executive Director of First Hour Grief Response, an organization that helps people of all ages work through their losses. Louisville's continued battle with gun violence is an issue Curtis faces every day in her role.
I would say about a fourth of the youth that come to our workshops have lost a loved one because of gun violence.
Part of her work, like Johnson's, is to remove the stigma around loss, especially the kind that people don't often want to talk about, and provide something everybody needs: a little support.
Some of us are taught to bootstrap it and not talk about it. It's very important to us to get the word out that we're here. We want to listen to you. We want to help you find your way as you try to figure out how you're going to go forward without your loved one, and we want to normalize talking about it.
The Street Widows Foundation has issued a challenge to every funeral home in Louisville to collectively raise $10,000 to help support those widowed in Louisville. Read more about the 10K call on our website at wave3.com. Alina Noakes, Wave News.